Hello, girls and boys. Welcome to Storytime Fun. I dedicate this next story to my fast-paced and fun grandchildren, Summer, Ethan, Denver, and Violet. Today's story is out of the Disney's Christmas Storybook, written by Elizabeth Spur. The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Christmas Under the Sea. Ever since she had first gone to the water's surface, Ariel could do little but dream of life on land. Night after night, despite her father King Triton's command, Ariel swam to the surface to gaze at the beautiful palace, shining in the clear moonlight. She was followed by her friend Flounder and trailed by Sebastian the Crab, who had been instructed by Triton to look after his daughter. One winter evening, she turned to her friend, her eyes bright. "Look, Flounder, what are all those beautiful lights lining the hill? They glow like stars, but they're so close to the earth." Flounder's large eyes grew even bigger as he gazed landward. "They seem to be coming from the castle." Each evening at sunset, Ariel and Flounder returned to their favorite cove to watch the lights go on. Each night, the castle grew brighter. Then not only the castle, but the castle grounds twinkled in the night, like the Milky Way. One night, as they watched, Scuttle the gull landed on their rock. "I see you're watching the full tide," he said. Ariel was delighted to see Scuttle. He was an expert on human life, or at least he said he was. Full tide? When the foolish humans greet each other with glad tidings. It's also known as the holidays because they deck the halls with holly. "But what are all those twinkling lights?" asked Ariel. "People light candles to welcome the season. Too bad you can't take a peek inside the castle windows." Scuttle went on to describe the enormous decorated tree that stood in the great hall of the castle, the long tables piled high with roasts and puddings. He told how, as tokens of their love, humans bestowed gifts on one another, scattering bright wrappings everywhere and shouting, "Merry Christmas!" "Ah, yes," said Scuttle. "The holidays are something to behold." Ariel listened in rapture. How she would love to be included in the festivities. She dreamed of taking part in decorating, singing, dancing, eating, and exchanging of gifts. But none of this could happen unless she became a human. Followed by Flounder, Ariel swam back sadly to her father's kingdom. "I don't want to see the castle lights anymore," she told Flounder. "I can never share the humans' holidays." Flounder hated to see Ariel unhappy. He rattled his brain and finally ventured, "We could make our own celebration." Ariel brightened. "Why not? We could decorate the great hall, and I can look for gifts for my sisters, for Daddy too. When he finds out about the holidays, maybe he'll realize that humans are not such barbarians." The days that followed were exhausting. Ariel, Flounder, and Sebastian searched far and wide for the most beautiful seashells, sea stars, and water plants they could find. After decking the great hall, Ariel and her friends shaped a large tree from deep green strands of seaweed and hung its limbs with colored glass circles made from bottles. "And now for candles." Ariel searched her grotto where she kept souvenirs gleaned from shipwrecks. The candlesticks were there, but the candles had all floated to the surface. Ariel pleaded with Scuttle. Please, can you find us some candles? They're the very best part. No problem, he said. I think I can borrow a few. Along the shore near the mouth of the river, Ariel found some magnificent moonstones, pebbles washed from the hills by a river and polished to brilliance by the waves of the sea. Aha! She gathered up the stones. They would make the perfect gift for her family, a gift that would help them understand how she felt. Meanwhile, each day Flounder swam up and down the shore, seeking a gift for Ariel, one that would remind her of the land she loved. One day he saw a young man pacing the beach, looking sad and lonely. As this man turned, a button fell from his shirt, a crystal button that sparkled in the sand. When the tides came in, Flounder retrieved the button. He wrapped it in seaweed and tied it with a narrow ribbon. The holiday eve came at last. Ariel's heart strummed with excitement as she wrapped the gifts for her family in the petals of an anemone. After she and Flounder had fixed Scuttle's candles onto the tree, Ariel blew through a large shell horn to summon her father, King Triton, and her sisters. I have a surprise for you, she sang. Ariel's family stared at the festive hall and the colorful tree. What under the sea is this? Her sisters exclaimed. You mean what on earth? Bubbled Ariel. This is Christmas, she said proudly, the way humans celebrate. It is splendid, they agreed, and even King Triton. But just wait, said Ariel. Here's the best part. She struck a flint to the candles. Nothing happened, for, of course, candles cannot burn under water. She struck and she struck again, her eyes filling with tears, although tears cannot flow under water. It's all ruined, she wailed. We've worked so hard, and now my Christmas is a fizzle. Not so, my dear daughter, said King Triton. Though you cannot make candles burn as they do on land, you put your heart into this surprise. That's what makes it so special. He took his trident and aimed it at the tree. The candles glowed with a magical light. There, is that better? From then on, the evening was filled with a magical spirit. Triton ordered up a grand feast accompanied by musicians. When Ariel presented her gifts with happy holidays, her family was overwhelmed. Her sisters held out the gleaming moonstones. Where did you find these lovely gems? Ariel explained how they were fashioned by both earth and sea, working together as one. She looked up at her father, who merely smiled and nodded. He had understood the message of the moonstones. Toward the end of the celebration, Flounder drew Ariel aside. I have something for you. Merry Christmas. He told her how he had found the gift. Flounder, how very precious. Ariel took the crystal, laced the ribbon through the button, and hung it around her neck. The crystal rested near her heart. When she held the bauble up to look at it, the crystal sparkled like starlight, like the lights that twinkled from the palace on the hill. As Ariel gazed at the light, she felt her heart glow with hope. And suddenly, she knew the meaning of the candles in the night. Well, that's it for today. See you next time.